When it comes to the Bible and slavery, people will usually try and say that just the Old Testament is the problem, but it's pretty easy to show that that just isn't the case by using the Bible itself and using what happened after the Bible as an example. The first of the 4 points is that Philemon was never written against the institution of slavery. Paul is simply requesting the release of Onesimus because he finds great use in having Onesimus as part of this ministry. Nowhere in Philemon will you find a single phrase condemning the institution of slavery itself. The second of the 2 points is when people try and say that 1 Timothy 9 through 10 says that slave traders, among other people, will not enter the kingdom of heaven, that in some way that means that slavery itself is condemned in 1 Timothy 9 through 10. But you look at the original Greek in that specific passage, and the term for slave traders is more referring to those who kidnap and man steal rather than anything else. But kidnapping has always been seen as immoral, both in the ancient Israelite communities, both in the early Christian communities, and other ancient societies that were around at that time. The third point comes from Galatians 3:28, where people will point out that it says that there is neither slave nor free. But if you go right past that, it says that there is neither male nor female. So just like Alex O'Connor pointed out to Cliff Connectley, whenever he said that unless you're a radical gender abolitionist, you probably shouldn't interpret this text like that. If you look at what it says that this is only talking about the way that people are one in Christ, that these distinctions don't actually matter when taken in that context. This has nothing to do with the institution of slavery whatsoever. The final point is that if the Bible condemns slavery, if Jesus was teaching against slavery, if the early church was originally against slavery, you would expect early church fathers to reflect this. But you take people like John Chrysostom, who said that only owning more than one or two slaves is sinful or wrong or shouldn't really be participated in because of laziness. Or you take somebody like Clement of Alexandria, who said that it's permissible to hit a slave with a rod. Where is this idea coming from? Because, of course, people like inspiring philosophy will point out there were people back then who were saying that slavery was wrong, but it was not the majority because the Bible itself was not condemning it, and the early church as a whole was not condemning it. This wasn't until much later that Christianity evolved their morality to condemn slavery once and for all.